Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to this week in animation. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but hey, it's still fun. And to be honest, I couldn't have picked a better week to come back and do these because this was a massive week. Obviously, the Oscars were this week, but there was also tons of other fun pieces of animation news that I just can't wait to get into. So this is going to be a very fun installment of This Week in Animation. So without further ado, let's get things started. First off, we have a couple updates in terms of Marvel animated Disney Plus shows. And that is mainly in regards to your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, which just wrapped up its first season. Basically, season 2 is underway. Season 2 is in fact happening, and it will be coming out next year, which for streaming shows, especially the Marvel Disney Plus shows, that is impressive for it to come out the next year. I think that's something that we've kind of missed lately in terms of making shows like this, in terms of just having everything be released within a year long span. Because there's I don't know, 3 to 4 years in between seasons of Stranger Things. Some shows, seasons come out every 2 years. But it used to be one season was about a year, you know? But at least Spider Man seems to be knowing what he's doing. As opposed to the X Men, which season 2 of X Men 97 will not be out until next year. Now, I want to keep in mind, I've yet to watch either of these shows. I know I need to. I know I really need to get around to watching them, but come on, guys. I know that the animation in X Men 97 looks amazing, but come on, just get season 2 out already. But hey, at least the artists, the animators are taking their time. Maybe they need the extra time since they fired the creator for some reason. But what do you guys think on all of these weird shenanigans with the Marvel animated Disney Plus shows? Okay, I don't know what this is about. Sorry, we're gonna have to exit. Oh my God, this fucking New York Times article is being weird. Okay, so let's just Variety. Variety will help us. Okay, so I'm sure that a lot of you have probably heard about this little movie named Ne Zha 2. It is a Chinese animated film that a lot of people have been talking about for one reason and one reason alone. It is making a lot of money. So much fucking money. It has this random film from China that I don't think most of us here in America have even heard of, has grossed well over $1 billion, has become one of the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time, and ended up beating Inside Out 2 for the highest grossing animated film ever. Which I believe that this is the first time in a long time, either the first time in a long time or the first time ever that a Disney movie hasn't had that title. No, wait. It was the first time in a long time because I do remember because before Inside Out 2 was number one, it was the Lion King remake. But before the Lion King remake, it was Frozen. Before Frozen, it was Toy Story 3. And before Toy Story 3, it was Shrek 2. And Shrek 2 took the title from Finding Nemo, and Finding Nemo took the title from The Lion King, and that's all I know. But now, Nizad 2 is the first animated film not made by Disney to take that title since Shrek 2, which is huge. And I think it's even more impressive because it's not made in America. I believe if you look at the list of the highest grossing movies of all time, like specifically the top 10, this is like the only one that's not made in America, or at least North America, which is insane. So, yeah, I believe this is the highest grossing foreign film ever made, which it already passed $2 billion at the box office, which means it's the first animated movie in history to do that. And it's just this little Chinese film that I don't think anyone was expecting to be as huge as it is. China is a massive place for the box office dollars. There's a huge market there. So yeah, I'm not gonna say like I'm not gonna say this is like an oh fuck you Disney type of thing, because I do think that Inside Out 2 was a really good movie and there's a lot of things to love about it. And I haven't really seen Nizad 2, so I can't really pass judgment if it's a good movie or not to take that title. Like if Nizad 2 was beating the Lion King remake, then yeah, hell yeah, I'd be celebrating. But like guys, I haven't seen this movie, so I can't fully judge if it's good. But if you guys have seen Nisa 2, what do you guys think of it? And how do you feel about it being the highest grossing animated film of all time? Okay, so moving right along, Google has hidden a secret Naruto Easter egg when you search it up. And my source right over here on IGN says clicking on the icon triggers an animation where multiple 8-bit style Naruto Uzumakis run across the screen from left to right, shaking up the page elements. So that's funny. You click on the logo and a bunch of characters will Naruto run. In fact, can you still do this? I want to see. Naruto. Okay, that didn't do anything. Oh, it's right here. Okay, I'm clicking on it. It's not doing anything. Am I? It's not nothing's happening. Like the button's right there. The button is right there, but like nothing's happening. Chat, what's going on? Um, I say chat even though this isn't live, it's pre-recorded. So I can't get this to work. I didn't test it beforehand, but I can't get this to work. So if anybody in the comments know anything else more about this, please let me know. But while we're on the subject of fun little Google tricks, if you guys ever Google do a barrel roll, like from Star Fox, or like do a do a barrel roll, you Google do a barrel roll, it does this. Hey, wait a minute. Oh no! It doesn't do that anymore? It doesn't make Easter eggs. Apparently you can make it Google Easter egg, but okay, there it is. If you okay, when you used to Google do a barrel roll, it would do that. But I'm curious. But like do a barrel roll Google Easter egg. No, it just does that. It's fucking nothing. What the hell? Well, anyways, that. What do you guys think of the Naruto thing? All right, before we move on to this big thing, and I stop hitting this little green screen behind me, let's take a little water break. Okay, the big entertainment news this week was the Oscars. The Oscars was this past Sunday, and we're basically just going to do a big fat breakdown of not the entire night, but just the highlights, and in particular some of the stuff relating to animation. And animation, it didn't go home with a ton of awards, really only the big two, but it did still get tons of nominations, which was still really cool. Basically, just a quick go over of the whole night. The big winner was Anora, which, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting. To be honest, I was kind of expecting either Wicked or The Brutalist to be the big two winners, which I believe The Brutalist did come in second in terms of the most amount of wins, because like most of the other movies, like they only got like two wins each. Where Anora, it won five, including like best leading actress, best editing, best writing, like best original screenplay actually, best director, and the big one, best picture. So I'm just glad that none of those awards went to Emilia Perez, because like we also got some notable wins for Adrian Brody for The Brutalist and Kieran Culkin for Real Pain, and sadly, Emilia Perez did win a couple Oscars, mainly Zoe Saldana for Best Supporting Actress, and it somehow won Best Original Song, even though like, have you listened to the music in that movie? It fucking sucks. I swear to God, that musical ranking will be coming eventually, so that I could give you guys my thoughts on Emilia Perez. It's coming. It's in the tank. But yeah, Brutalist won Best Cinematography, and now let's get into the big two. Technically not the big two in terms of the award show itself, but the big two for the purposes of our show, that being Best Animated Feature and Best Animated Short. For starters, Best Animated Short, the award ended up going to In the Shadow of the Cypress. Now, I haven't seen any of these shorts, as it is really hard to watch short films unless they get uploaded to YouTube or you just go to the festivals. And not everybody has the privilege to go to film festivals. And even today, not everybody has the privilege to go to the movie theater. But I assume that all these shorts are wonderful, and I'm sure that the short that won deserved it. But now let's get into the real good shit. Best Animated Feature. Going into this, I was sure that The Wild Robot was going to win, right? Because, like, I was expecting Wild Robot to win. It was the big studio movie that everybody loves. It got the most nominations out of any animated film, because keep in mind, it also got nominated for Best Original Score and Best Sound, which is pretty rare for an animated movie to get nominated for Best Sound. So that's still pretty cool. And I was thinking, because the Academy nominated this movie so many times, and the fact that critics loved it, that it would be the big winner. But then Flow kept on winning this category and other award shows. And I was like, holy crap. Flo might actually have a chance at bringing home the Oscar. But I was like, there's no way. There's no way that the Academy is going to give this award to Flo. And then it fucking won. Okay, that's fucking cool. So this makes it the third year in a row that this award didn't go to a Disney movie, and the second year in a row where it went to an international film. Because like last year's win was The Boy and the Heron, which was from Japan. This year's win was Flo, and I forget which country it's from off the top of my head, but it's still cool. And Flo also got a nomination for Best International Feature, which I believe is the third animated film in history to get that nomination, on top of Flea and Waltz with Bashir, which Waltz with Bashir didn't even get a Best Animated Feature nomination. So the Academy must have really liked Waltz with Bashir. But yeah, I still haven't checked out Flo. I really fucking wanted to when I saw the trailers for it, but it just wasn't released in my area. And funny enough, I still haven't seen The Wild Robot. And the weird thing is, the only one of the Best Animated Feature nominations that I have seen is Inside Out 2. Because Wild Robot came out the same week, the same day as my brother's birthday. And you know me, Halloween is always a busy time of year for me, and other movies came out, so I just never got around to watching it. And now it's on Peacock and on Blu-ray now, so I got no excuse not to watch it. And Flo, as I mentioned, just wasn't around in my area yet. So, but yeah, now it's on. Now literally all of these movies are on streaming. Flo is on Max. Memoir of a Snail is on Prime Video through AMC Plus. Wallace and Gromit has officially been released to the US on Netflix, and Wild Robot is on Peacock. So I have no excuse not to watch the rest of these movies, which, frankly, from what I hear and just by looking at them, I can tell why they all got nominated. Am I a little bitter that The Day the Earth Blew Up never really got a nomination? Maybe, but that's just a jealous me. But yeah, those were the Oscars. Congratulations to all of the winners and all of the nominees. I'm going to be honest, this show was pretty good. There were a couple wins that I thought were a little iffy, but a lot of the wins were great. Some of the show-stopping numbers were really good, even though there weren't any other performance from the actual nominated songs, which was weird. Like, the Wizard of Oz medley that started the show was awesome. Conan O'Brien was a great host. Great Oscars this year. What do you guys think? Okay, so the voice of Ronan from Star Wars Visions confirms that he is doing something new. And apparently, the producer of the characters episode, The Duel, says that there will be a new episode dropping this year. I haven't seen Star Wars Visions. Moving on. Okay. Alrighty. More pieces of big news this week. Disney has officially canceled the Princess and the Frog series Tiana. Now, for those of you who do not remember, way back in 2020, Disney announced a bunch of new stuff for Disney Plus and Hulu. And among those were a series of animated shows made by Walt Disney Animation Studios. And pretty much all of those shows have come out so far. There was Baymax, Zootopia Plus, an original series called Iwaju, which all of those just kind of came and went. Like Disney really tried to push making original content for Disney Plus through Walt Disney Animation Studios, and like nobody watched any of them. I mean, people have been watching the stuff Pixar's put out on Disney Plus. Like, to my knowledge, Win or Lose is doing pretty good, but like nobody gave a shit about Disney stuff on Disney Plus, and they're the foundation of the company. But either way, one of those projects was a Tiana series based around obviously the Princess and the Frog. And it's been like over 4 years since that announcement, and nothing's happened. Nothing's come from it. Well, we got a report on Tuesday, yesterday actually, that the series has officially been canceled, which it's a shame because it seems that Disney really has been trying to push forward a lot more Princess and the Frog content now that the film has finally gained its audience. But it is what it is. But it turns out the reason that Disney decided to cancel the show is because that they are no longer interested in producing original content, or at least in terms of long form content for Disney Plus, as in projects made by Walt Disney Animation Studios. And honestly, it's understandable because, well, most of the long form content hasn't done very well and really isn't anything to write home about. Because, like, I mean, I watched Baymax in a day. It was alright, wasn't anything to write home about. Zootopia Plus was okay. And Iwaju I never finished. But it wasn't bad, it was just kind of there. And Tiana had some promise. Would have been interesting if they made it a Disney Plus, like, hand drawn. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, Moana 2 was supposed to be a Disney Plus series, but they later decided to turn that into a movie, and look how that turned out. So, hopefully this doesn't mean that they're going to take that concept for the Tiana series and turn that into Princess and the Frog 2. No, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And hopefully what this does mean is that because the folks at Disney Animation aren't forcing themselves to make TV shows, they can get back to doing what they do best, and that is make animated movies and the occasional short film every now and then. So, yeah, I think this could only lead to some good things for Disney Animation. Because if the last couple of years, in terms of the quality of their films, have anything to go by, I think Disney Plus probably had a massive impact on that. Granted, I haven't seen Strange World, but for me, Disney Animation hasn't made like an objectively no bullshit good movie since Encanto. That was nearly 4 years ago. Hopefully, Zootopia 2 will be good. Hopefully, it will break the curse that Disney's been in lately. But we're just going to have to wait and see. All right. So, a while back, James Gunn announced a bunch of new animated series from DC Studios, like a new Green Lantern show, and among all of them was a Starfire series. Well, he announced via Twitter that the Starfire show, on top of all of those other shows, will be Elseworld stories. Those of you unaware, in DC Comics, Elseworlds is a line of comics that take place outside of the main DC Comics continuity. This is basically the line that DC uses to show what if scenarios, fun alternate takes, and just show a different side of the DC universe. Today, they don't usually use Elseworlds as much. Normally, they do. They kind of have like two labels for that. There's Elseworlds, and then there's DC Black Label, which is kind of the new Vertigo, but that's a story for another day. The point is, when James Gunn was making his version of the DC universe for movies and TV, he wanted to incorporate Elseworlds by basically stating, hey, everything that is not in the main continuity will be labeled as DC Elseworlds. And he already listed some pre-existing examples, such as Teen Titans Go, the Harley Quinn series, the CW shows, the Batman, and the Joker movies. And apparently, these new animated shows, specifically Starfire, will be Elseworlds. So that's fun. It won't have to force itself to be part of the shared universe, which, if you guys haven't seen the new DCU, I really liked Creature Commandos, and Superman is looking to be really good, so very excited for Superman. So what do you guys think of the new Elseworlds show? All right, before we get to the sad shit, gotta get a drink. Okay. More big pieces of news. Yesterday, it was announced that George Lowe, the voice of Space Ghost in Space Ghost Coast to Coast, has sadly passed away at the age of 67. Those of you unaware, George Lowe was a Adult Swim pioneer. He basically was brought in for Space Ghost Coast to Coast. That was the big role that really gave him some notoriety in the voice acting world, where he was the voice of Space Ghost with his amazing natural voice that was just right for the character, and he just had expert comedic timing, so much so that he basically became the guy for Adult Swim. Where if they ever need to bring in a character with a smooth, sexy voice, they bring in George Lowe. Because not only is he the voice of Space Ghost, but he also voiced the dad in The Brak Show. He voiced the perverted unicorn in Robot Chicken. He would voice numerous different characters throughout Aqua Teen Hunger Force. And he would even reprise his role of Space Ghost in several other shows, such as the original run of Cartoon Planet, The Brak Show, several different fun little unique things that Adult Swim would do over the years. And even as recent as the most recent season of Jellystone, where he got to basically be the original Space Ghost, but with the silly voices of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Brak was still evil, but he still had that stupid voice. So, yeah, massive legend we lost in animation, and in particular, adult animation and Cartoon Network history. So, rest in peace, George Lowe. Space Ghost was born a man and died and became a Space Ghost. Okay, on something much more light. So, bit of a tonal shift. Hasbro announced that Mummy Pig from Peppa Pig is officially pregnant with her third child. After 20 years of Peppa Pig, Mummy Pig is finally pregnant. They're finally switching things up, and they are making her pregnant. Which, yeah, for whatever reason, everyone just assumes that Mummy Pig cheated on Daddy Pig. So I don't know why. Maybe because nobody likes Peppa Pig, and they just want to be like, oh, let's make this all fucked up. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, this like it literally looks like they just went bleep on her. But yeah, it's nice that after 20 years of them doing the same thing, they finally decided to do something new with the show. Maybe they'll do something really bold for Peppa Pig and make it a good show for kids to watch. How about that? But yeah, Mummy Pig is pregnant. What do you think about that? All right, bunch of shit that I have nothing to say about, but they happened this week, so we're gonna talk about them. Pokemon Horizons Season 2 has a release date. It got a release date. You go away. You go away, motherfucker. Where's the release date? I believe it's coming out on April 25th on Netflix, so that's about a month and a half away. I haven't seen Pokemon Horizons. I'm not a Pokemon guy, even though they're in my videos. What do you guys think of it? Those of you that are Pokemon fans, let me know. Okay, we got a new poster for episode 6 of season 3 of Invincible. This episode is already out. I haven't gotten the chance to watch season 3 yet. Really love the first 2 seasons. Really looking forward to seeing this. We got Powerplex. I haven't gotten to this point in the comics where this character shows up. I've really only gotten to like where season 1 ends. So I still have a lot of reading to do. There's like 115 issues, I think. So yeah. That's that. Fuck! Damn it. This fucking movie, I hate it. Hate it. The How to Train Your Dragon remake is gonna have its world premiere at CinemaCon. Those of you unaware, CinemaCon is a convention for movie theater owners where the studios can basically showcase all the movies that they have coming up. So this is basically where Disney, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, Sony, and Lionsgate will show all of their upcoming films, specifically theatrical releases. So you're not going to see any presentations from Hulu or Amazon or Apple or Netflix. Although I guess since Amazon owns MGM now, it is very likely that Amazon could have a presence at CinemaCon now. But regardless, How to Train Your Dragon will have its world premiere there. It is set to be released in theaters on June 13th. Yeah, this movie's coming out on Friday the 13th. That's a good sign. Guys, just go see Elio instead. It comes out the same day. But the CinemaCon premiere will be on April 2nd. So less than a month away from the world premiere of How to Train Your Dragon. Like, I have not been shy on how I feel about this fucking movie just existing. I don't care if the series creator is involved, but like, it's too soon for a remake, and making a CGI movie live action is dumb, because you're just taking a CGI model and you're turning it into a CGI model. There's like nothing, like, at least, like with the Disney remakes, as much as I fucking hate those, at least they take hand-drawn animated films and bring them into the real world. Like it's not as pointless to take a hand drawn cell and turn it into a computer generated monster or even a real person. But like there's already so much CGI involved in this. Like legit, Hiccup is like the only real thing in this shot. So what's even the point? Especially when Toothless looks exactly the same. But yeah, fuck the How to Train Your Dragon remake. I'm not watching it, and you shouldn't either. Alright, so, some good summer movies. Inside Out 2 was a massive hit, as I'm sure you all know. And so, obviously, Pixar is working on Inside Out 3. So, yeah, Inside Out 3 is officially going to be happening at Pixar. We don't know when it will be coming out. Hopefully, not another 9 years. Hopefully, it will come out relatively soon. I don't expect it to be like the next Pixar movie after Incredibles 3. Maybe there'll be like a movie or two in between, and then Inside Out 3 comes out. But, like, to be honest, Inside Out is probably the only Pixar franchise that I'm completely fine with movie after movie after movie. Because there's legit so much you can do with this concept. Like, the first movie featured was about, like, Riley as a preteen, right? She's 11 in the movie. The second, she's a teenager starting to go through puberty, like, late middle school, early high school, stuff like that. The third movie could be about Riley just straight up no bullshit in her teenage years. She's a teenager, she's doing teenage things, puberty was behind her, she's older now, she's like 16 or 17, because like, and then like you could do like Inside Out 4, but she's like in her early 20s trying to figure it out. She's a young adult, start doing college. This is like Inside Out 5. She's like middle aged or something like that. Yeah, and then like Inside Out 6 and she's elderly. Like you could make so many movies out of this idea of just the emotions growing up with Riley, like new emotions keep coming in. Maybe as she gets older, she doesn't really use some of those emotions either as much or even at all. Like there's just so much you can do with the concept of Inside Out. It kind of amazes me that it took them 9 years to make a sequel, and it took them like 6 years to announce the sequel. Like, hello? But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Inside Out 3, and I'm sure that whatever they have is going to be peak. Because even the sequel was still a really good movie. Alright, so, speaking of sequels, the new Demon Slayer movie has a set release date. Oh, I just hit the mic. I'm sorry. It has a set fall 2024 release date. No, wait, no, 2025 release date. That's what Sony says. So, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle, that's something, will be released in movie theaters on September 12th, 2025. I have not seen Demon Slayer. I haven't gotten around to it. I'm sure it's good. This poster looks metal as fuck. Like the poster right over here, it looks metal as hell. So, you guys looking forward to the new Demon Slayer movie? Please let me know. Alright, Haikyuu anime finally gets a sequel. Haikyuu anime gets a movie covering Hyuki's next batch. So, I don't know anything about this. So this appears to be like an anime. A movie based off an anime. Moving on. Saikoken anime adaptation announced. So we got Konami have announced that an anime adaptation of Sotoken 2 is in the works. You can check out the teaser trailer above. Konami Animation will be responsible for the production of the anime. At first, a first for the company, and the series will be directed by Yozo Sato. So yeah, it's an anime based off a Konami game. Konami sucks, but they made some good animes based off their games. Look at Castlevania; that was pretty good. Castlevania was awesome. But yeah, what do you guys think if you're a fan? And our final piece of news, well, it's not really news, is that we got to see a look at what making the Oscar-winning animated film Flow was like. Flow was made entirely with the free computer software Blender and rendered in nearly real time with Eevee, not the Pokemon. So, yeah, why is Bowser trending? We'll figure that out later. So, yeah, this movie was made in Blender, which I think is amazing. Like, all this was made in Blender. This beautiful film was made in Blender. Like, look at that. That's fucking art right there. Like, this Oscar-winning movie made in Blender. You can't get any cooler than that. So, what do you guys think of the movie Flow? Please let me know down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe and ring the bell. Okay, so I decided to jump some things a little bit around this time around for personal reasons and mainly just scheduling stuff. So, sorry, I thought I had to burp. Let's just go ahead and get into the channel updates right now. First off, we got Mr. Johnson stuff. This channel, that New Year's video, it's coming. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. Honestly, I don't know what has been taking me so long with this fucking New Year's video. It's like nearly done. Nearly done. It's just that some of these movies have been an absolute drag to get through. Like, absolutely unbearable. And, like, the last thing I want to do is to continue to watch them. Because, like, there's still a couple of these movies that I've still yet to watch. And, yeah, that can be kind of difficult when you're trying to rank them all. But it's Amelia Perez. Amelia Perez is so bad that I can barely get through it. I can barely finish it. Like, but I'm gonna finish the movie. That and Spellbound are like the two movies that are like, they're so bad, but they're so bad that I don't really want to continue watching them, but I have to in order to make the video. Plus, been trying to work on other videos, and it's just a big mess. But it's almost done. Hopefully, we can get it out by the end of the month. Hopefully before Q1 of the year is done. And I can finally get back to making normal theater talks and Toon Talks. Because that's the crazy thing. There hasn't been a single Toon Talk all year. We've been making those little little bonus videos, like the Sweeney Todd one. The Sweeney Todd one, that, I don't know why the fuck you guys hated that so much. Like, you guys tore that one up. Like, damn. You did not like what I had to say there. But yeah, that's just about the only update I got for this channel is the New Year's video. It's coming. And in terms of Weird TV, next week on Thursday the 13th, there will be a brand new episode of Thomas and Friends of Bridge. And in fact, this will be the season finale. It will be the season 2 finale. And so I'm just going to give you the schedule for Weird TV this month. The week after that, there will be a sketch. It'll be technically it's a sketch, but what this really is that it's going to be a student project. It's going to be a project that I've worked on for school that I'm just putting on the channel for archival purposes and to just make my schoolwork public for you all. Kind of like how I uploaded that newscast to the channel last year, and how, like, I don't know if, like, you guys didn't know this, but, like, the Kung Fu Panda 4 video, that was actually a student project. It was a student project that I made a Toon Talk. Or a Toon Talk that I made a student project. You figure it out. So, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. And sometime after all this is done with the fucking New Year's video, there's going to be a couple other Toon Talks that will be student projects. That they were student projects that I just made, put them on the channel, and there's going to be quite a bit of other student projects coming to both the channels soon. And then the week after that, on March the 27th, will be the Thomas and Friends Abridged Season 2 Supercut. Now, that will include every single episode of Thomas and Friends Abridged Season 2. So, even the controversial ones, those will be in the supercut. I'm not going to get into any more detail other than that. And as a little, should I give you guys a little teaser for April? You know what? I'll say this. April will have the announcement of a brand new series for Weird TV. Not a sketch, but a new series. And I'll give you guys one hint. It is a spin-off to Thomas and Friends Abridged. That is it. So, yes, Thomas and Friends Abridged is getting a spin-off. I don't know when this show's going to come out. Hopefully May at the earliest. May at the earliest, I imagine, is when this show will premiere. And that's all I'll get. If you guys want to know what the Thomas and Friends Abridged spin-off series will be, you guys are just going to have to tune in till April 10th on Weird TV, where I will make that announcement. But I believe that will be it for the channel updates. Those will be it for the channel news. Yeah, not a lot of stuff going on with Mr. Johnson right now. Hopefully by the time I get the New Year's video done, we'll get back into the swing of things of making regular releases. Although, I do want to address the weekly schedule that I've been doing for the last 9 years in the next video. Like, at the end of the New Year's video, that's what I want to do. But other than that, that is it for the channel updates.